Joining us now to talk market strategy is Chris Zaccarelli. He is Cornerstone CIO, and Kevin Gittes, President of Fixed Income Capital Markets for Raymond James. And the way I look at it, I guess, could this mean that we get a rotation to other sectors in an ongoing bull market, or could this indicate some cracks in the bull market itself? Kevin, I'll ask you that first.
You know, Joe, I'm a bond guy, so what we're watching is the way the equities are performing and whether this is...
Did you hear my intro? Did you hear my intro? Why would you should have said I don't even want to be on if we're going to talk all about the NASDAQ and the stock market. You said this is not for me. Call somebody else.
It's been a long time. I think that we should spread the gospel of fixed income whenever we can.
Okay. So you sell me on investing in 2%, something at 2% that's definitely, the principal is going to definitely erode. Why would anyone want to buy any bonds at this point?
Well, it depends on the bonds that you're talking about. So if you're talking about munis, there's a great still taxable equivalent basis for buying 30-year, 10-year, 20-year AAA rated tax-free bonds. The Treasury market's a little bit different. This is where you are buying for safety or buying for liquidity. So as equities erode, if they are about to, or people are getting nervous, they're flocking in to the bond market because there just isn't much inflation, and we're not likely to see inflation until we see pro-growth initiatives. So, you know, the bond market is just sitting there watching what's happening and taking the flows of money as they flow out of other sectors. But there still is value in that market away from the equity market, away from 2%.
I guess the one thing about bonds is if you think rates are going to stay relatively low, that keeps the game going with stocks. So that, I mean, that's the most important, I think, backdrop for what to do with debt. But so let me go to you then, Chris. So is this the beginnings of problems for this advance we've seen, or is it just going to rotate to the banks were strong last week, energy was strong? Did tech, they needed a breather?
Yeah, I mean, I think all those points were made. You know, the tech valuations were relatively high. They're really running ahead of the rest of the market. It is a great time for some sector rotation. So that's why I'd recommend looking at financials. You know, price to books around 1.3 for the whole sector versus the market's around 3 times. So, you know, from a valuation point of view, financials obviously look a lot cheaper, and they're going to have some tailwinds. You're going to have deregulation. You're going to have a lack of new regulations. And I think eventually those pro-growth policies will come through. You are going to see some tax reform at some point, and possibly down the line, infrastructure spending. So all those things should be good for financials in the sense of, you know, rates being higher, credit quality hopefully maintaining, and this cycle continuing. So that's really my view, what to do at this point in the cycle.
So would you, would you use this as a buying opportunity for all these fat man stocks that you didn't get in the first place, or not?
Well, you know, I think there may be a little bit more room to run on the downside, but in general, yeah, technology right now is probably a tough time to do it. But if you look at those companies, their earnings are growing. You know, the price-earnings ratio, let's say, for the sector is around 19. If you look back in 1999, it was 32. So this is not 1999 at all. It's just a case of a sector getting a little bit ahead of itself. But people are really excited about the earnings prospects. And what you have here is a quality sector that may go on sale in the next couple weeks. So I would look to buy it if they go down low enough.
How's the engineering school at Cornell? Is it pretty good?
It's not a bad school. Yeah, it treated me pretty well, I'd say.
And you got a degree. What do you know about that, the engineering school?
Those kids worked really hard.
They worked much harder than you.
Much harder.
And you have a degree in computer science, and now you do. Are you any good at this?
Am I any good at the stock market?
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to think so. I mean, I started off in computer science, but I got my CFA, and with that, I've been able to, so I try to use the two together.
You invest your own money? I mean, you got a lot of money? You invest your own money?
I do. I invest my own money along with our firm.
All right. You done well? I mean, where do you live?
Yeah. So, so I'm just living north of Charlotte in Steph Curry country, actually.
Oh, he makes well, that it sounds like you're doing really well, but you can't hit 3-pointers like that, right?
I cannot, unfortunately.
Okay. All right. How about you? Gittes, you? Crazy things.
All day.
Crazy things happen in Chinatown. You know that. Crazy things happen in Chinatown. Don't go down. That's JJ Gittes.
I am aware of
JJ Gittes.
Mr. Nicholson.
Chinatown. Yeah. You anyway, 2J. Hey, thank you, Chris and Kevin.
Thank you.
It's Monday. I think I'm still from the party. I think I'm still like breathing alcohol.
Margaritas.
From Friday night.
From Friday night.
From Friday night. Man, the liver is.
Got to drink water.
I did. I tried everything.
You tried everything.
Advil, aspirin.